Okay, so here we go. Today is review day A. It is 1/13/2020. Okay, so I see a parentheses, right? So I'm going to distribute that times that, that times that, that times that. So when I multiply, I add exponents. So I'm going to get a 12, x to the second, y to the third. When I multiply, I add exponents, plus an 18, x to the third, y to the second, minus 6x, y to the third. I cannot add or combine anything because they're all different. That's it. So the trick is to add, when you multiply, add exponents for like terms. Okay, 2, again, there's nothing in between. So that's a times, isn't it? So when I multiply, I add exponents. But this is like a double distribute. So I'm going to go 3x times a 5x squared is a 15x cubed. Multiplying. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. 3 times a negative 5 is a negative 15x. Okay, now, there's more. There's more. I'm also going to multiply the negative 1 through to all three terms. When I do that, I'm going to line up my like terms. It's going to make it easy for me to add. So I get a negative 1 times 5 is a negative 5x squared. I'm going to put it right there. Line them up right there. Minus 3x. Put it right there. Line them up. Plus 5. Okay? How am I doing? Okay? And now, if I add things up, I'm going to get a 15x cubed plus a 4x squared minus an 18x plus 5. Okay? Circle that answer. Circle that answer. Circle that answer. Okay. Now number 2 is different. Or sorry, number 3 is different. That's a plus sign. We'll multiply. That's a plus sign. So let's just add. So when I add, I combine like terms. I'm just looking for how many x squareds. Don't add x's. So I'm going to get a 8x squared. How many x squareds do I have? I've got 8x squared. Minus 11x minus 6. That's it. Easy. Now 4. This is what Isaac did, and I liked what Isaac did because he just switched the signs, right? Because you're going to subtract all of these. But when you add a negative, it's the same thing. So what Isaac did is he made this a plus, and he changed all the signs in here, okay? And then it's a plus sign, and it becomes a problem just like we just did. So let's put them together. 3x and negative 4x and negative 1x squared. Negative 8x and 3x makes a negative 5x. Negative 3 and negative 10 makes a negative 13. Okay, moving it forward. Okay, factor. All right. So if I factor, let's see. I know I have to make it 2x squared. So 2x and x, right? Jay, take notes. 2x and x. I also know I need multiples of 5, but I gotta be careful where I put the 5. 5 and 1 or 1 of 5. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to put my 1 here and my 5 here. Okay, remember your double smiley? Remember your double smiley? So here's a 10, and there's a 1. Together that will make my negative 11, but I've got to make them both negative, right? So make it negative, negative, and that is my factor. And again, you can check this. One of the ways we check is what we call the double smiley, and my double smiley will make the negative 11, okay? Okay, 6. Now, we haven't seen these for a long time, so let's write these. 2 formulas. My a cubed plus my b cubed was a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. That was one little mini formula for factoring. And the other little mini formula was the negatives. If I had an a cubed minus a b cubed, it's almost the same thing. It's going to be an a minus b times an a squared plus an ab plus a b squared, okay? Okay, and that's my little formula. Okay, so we learned this some time ago. So if you can have those little formulas in your notes, because these are your notes, right? So then what I have here is a cubed minus a cubed. It really is a cube minus cube, because what I could do is rewrite this as a x cubed minus a 2 cubed. Okay? So the x is like the a, and the 2 is like the b. So I'll plug the 2 in for the a. I'll plug the x in for the a and the 2 in for the b. And so my answer is going to be a x minus 2 times an x squared. And then AB means together, so I'm going to have a 2x plus a 2x plus a b squared, which is plus a b is 2, 2 squared is 4. That's my answer. Okay, take a look at that. Make sure you have that. Make sure you have these formulas in your notes, okay? All right, number 3. Okay, we're going to factor. So I see that they have a 3 in common, multiple of 3, and a 1x. Totally right. They have a 3 and an x in common. So common factor out that 3x, okay? So what's a common factor out the 3x? I'll have an x squared minus 25 left over. And now I can factor that again, because this will factor into an x plus 5, x minus 5. So don't forget 3x. So I'll have the 3x, because I already did that one, and then I'll have inside, I'll have an x plus 5, x minus 5. Am I going too fast? I'm okay. So that's completely factored. Now that one took factoring twice, but I was able to do it. 8, I'm going to have to factor twice, but anytime you've got 4 terms, let's group them. Remember how we group them? Number 8's by grouping, okay? So to do by grouping, I'm going to put the first 2 together and the second 2 together by grouping, okay? Okay, so these first 2 have a multiple of 4 in common and an x. Okay, the first 2 terms have a multiple of 4 in common and an x. So if I common factor out of 4, I'd have a 5. If I took out an x, I'd have an x, y. If I common factored out of 4x, I'd just have a 4. That's it. That's the first 2. Now if I look at the second 2, all they have in common is a 3, a multiple of 3. So to take out a multiple of 3, hopefully something nice will happen. So if I take out a 3, I'll have a 5x, y, take a 3 out of 12 and have a 4. Oh, I like this, because now what they have in common for our second factoring is 5xy plus 4. Okay, so what do they have in common? They both have a 5xy plus 4 in common, and what's left over is my 4x plus 3. Okay. Done. Okay, you guys ready? Tell me when you're ready. I don't want to go too fast. So that took by grouping. 4 terms, pair them up and group them, okay? Okay, turn the page. Alright. Okay, so 9. If fx is x squared, translate f of x 5 units left and 2 units up. Okay, what's the new equation? So, alright, let's call it g of x. Okay, g of x is equal to. So, I'm going to take, and if I go 5 units to the left, I'm going, remember, opposite. Remember how we do the opposite? Yeah. And it's inside, right? Opposite inside, so we're going to go like this. We're going to go parentheses x plus 5 squared. Totally right. Guys, remember how you do the opposite? Remember the little funny little dance you do? Remember when I'm going right, you say, no, I'm going left. It's the opposite of the inside, and then I'm going to go up 2, so plus 2, okay? If we had to graph this parabola, which you might have to graph this parabola, then we'd be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd have a parabola here. And here's how I graph parabolas. 1 squared, 1. 2 squared, 4. Remember that? 3 squared, 9 when I graph, because I'm graphing a x squared, aren't I? So I'd go 1 squared is 1. I'd go 2 squared is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd go 3 squared and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know parabolas are symmetrical over the line of symmetry. So I'd have its other points here, here, and here. You guys remember how to do a parabola? Worst case, you can pick up your calculator and graph it on your calculator, right? If you don't know how to graph it. All right, zeros. Okay, to get zeros, we're going to have to factor. Okay. Well, let's see. If I'm going to have to factor, I'm going to go, okay, parentheses, 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 right? And I know the only way I can get an x squared is with an x times an x. What times what makes 24? 6 and 4, which makes the 10, perfect, plus 6 plus 4, right? We could do many equations, which I will show, but you guys probably already know the answers, I'm sure, because you can do it in your head, right? Negative, agree, negative 6, negative 4, but agree. Do I need to show the many equations? You okay? Daniel's like, no, man, come on, Mr. Davies. This is easy, right, Daniel? So x would equal a negative 6, and x would equal a negative 4, if you did your many equations, right? All right, 11. Well, if I'm going to factor or find the zeros, if you're going to find the zeros, let's make it equal to 0. So we'll bring the 28 back over with the rest of them, okay? So let's go 2x squared minus a 1x minus 28 equals 0. Okay, so I brought the 28 over. Okay, I got a factor. Okay. The only way I can get a 2x squared is with a 2x and an x. So I'm going to go 2x and an x. Okay, so multiples of 28, probably 4 and 7, but I got to come up with a 1. Probably 4 and 7. So I think 4 can go here, and 7 goes here. Okay, now watch. Make sure. Okay, I'll let you guys write it. See the 8 and see the 7? Isaac sees it, don't you? Okay, see where my fingers are at? That times that makes an 8, right? And that times that makes a 7. If I had a negative 8 and a positive 7, negative 8, positive 7, that would make my negative 1, right? And so it's factored, but again, I've got to solve it. So this answer is easy. X equals positive 4. That answer is easy, right? But this one, do you want me to show the solving, or can you do it? You're going to subtract 7 divided by 2. You're going to subtract 7 divided by 2. Can you do that in your head? Right? If I had a, I'll just show it real quick. If you have, show it over here. If you had a 2x plus 7 equals 0, right? Go minus 7 minus 7. 2x equals negative 7. Divide by 2, divide by 2. And you get negative 7 halves, okay? Okay, how am I doing? Okay, all right, moving on. Okay, 12. Might do 12 on a separate sheet of paper. How many answers? You know this. Julia, you know this. Julia, how many zeros? You know this. 4, everybody agree? Yeah. Everybody should know this. How many zeros? 4. So we should get 4 answers. Let's see how we can get 4 answers, okay? I'm going to do 12 on a separate sheet of paper. So x to the 4th minus 16 equals 0. Okay, will it factor? Will it factor? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then if it factors, x squared, right? You guys okay with that? Okay, plus 4 minus 4. Okay, how am I doing okay? I'm actually going to do my mini equations this time so you can see it. So if I have an x squared plus 4 equals 0, x squared minus 4 equals 0. Am I going too fast? Am I okay? I can, and I won't, you're totally right, but I can factor that one. I can't factor that one. You're going to get a 9. Yeah. So that's why I'm not going to factor it. Okay. Because kids are going to want to try and factor this one, Isaac, which you can't. Okay, so let's solve. Okay, you guys ready to solve? Yeah. So minus 4, x squared equals negative 4. Now I got a negative. This makes me nervous because what's my next step?